At 10 and streaming on CrossFitDay.com, a former Uvalde police officer in court today following the botched response to the school shooting.
A local man is accused of assaulting a police officer. We have that story.
And Hurricane Beryl's death toll climbs to 36 with new heat-related fatalities.
Hard to believe, but we've got 2.5 more days of this downpour activity. The trough is here, the moisture is here. Just going to see another round tomorrow, but then we'll talk about when that all ends coming up in just a few minutes.
And full force gymnastics performs well at Nationals in Fort Worth, Texas. That's in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
This is an alert day. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Mac?
Well, thank you very much. And good evening, everyone. The thing is that we continue to be under a flash flood watch, and we're very close to what we call flash flood critical levels. In other words, we see heavy rain, immediately you're going to have flood because the ground is actually saturated. Now, you might be saying, well, wait a minute, it hasn't rained at my house. Trust me, there has been pockets of very heavy rainfall around the area over the last couple of days, and the pattern is not changing much. Yesterday, or this morning rather, we had some very heavy rain, not only this way up toward Bay City, but also down in Corpus Christi, right about there. But basically, Mustang Island got 10 inches of rain in one particular downpour, and that's the kind of downpours that are possible for Friday and Saturday. But then on Sunday, things start to change on us, and we might have a little drier weather for next week. We'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes. Don, back to you.
Mac, thank you. A former Uvalde school police officer pleaded not guilty to 29 charges. This is in connection with the mass shooting at Robb Elementary. Each charge carries up to 2 years in jail if convicted. Adrian Gonzalez was one of the first officers to arrive on the scene. He was one of nearly 400 officers who responded, but then waited more than 70 minutes to confront the shooter inside the classroom. 19 children and 2 teachers were killed inside that 4th grade classroom. So here is your Veer poll tonight. The question is a 2-year sentence enough for the former Uvalde officer if he's convicted? Yes or no, it should be longer, or no, it should be shorter. According to all results tonight, it looks like no, it should be longer takes the lead with 69% of the vote, followed by yes at 22%, and no, it should be shorter at 9%. Thank you for voting tonight.
The search is on for the suspect in the shooting death of a Texas teacher.
A stray bullet killed Adrian Burt Tuesday morning. Family and friends are mourning the loss.
It's just disbelief. I'm not sure I'm fully comprehending it yet.
Watching his daughter grow old is something David Burt will never get to see. Aiden Rose Burt was in town for a coaches conference, shot and killed by a stray bullet early Tuesday morning at Smoke Sky Bar in downtown San Antonio.
She was supposed to leave Tuesday morning, and we were going to meet at the beach at Crystal Beach for the rest of the week.
At 28 years old, Aiden Burt was carrying the torch as a third-generation teacher and coach. Her father, an educator himself.
And so she knew what it was. She knew what the hours were like. But she also saw that this can be such a big and positive influence on kids' lives.
That positive influence, her dad says, apparent every day.
She had a knack for reaching the kids that nobody else could reach and forming those relationships.
The only child of a single father, her loss is unfathomable.
You know, I'm never going to hear her voice again. I'm never going to see her smile. I'm never going to get to see her reach her full potential. It's just heartbreaking.
The Jasper Athletic Department is collecting donations for the Burt family.
A rising number of heat-related deaths in Texas among residents who lost power during Hurricane Beryl has pushed the number of storm fatalities to at least 36. Fort Bend County Thursday confirmed 9 additional deaths. Authorities said some of those deaths were linked to power outages and heat-related causes. Beryl knocked out electricity to nearly 3 million people in Texas at the height of the outages.
Victoria police arrested a 22-year-old man Wednesday. Victor Lucio of Victoria is charged with assault of a police officer. He's at the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a $40,000 bond.
Lavaca County deputies arrested a man Wednesday. Antonio Balderas is charged with engaging in organized criminal activity. That charge is from Ellis County. He's in the Lavaca County Jail in lieu of $500,000 bond. He also has an ICE detainer. The Justice Department says Ismael Almayo Zambada, an historic leader of Mexico's Sinaloa cartel, and Joaquin Guzman Lopez, a son of another infamous cartel leader, were arrested by U.S. authorities in El Paso. A leader of the powerful Sinaloa cartel for decades, alongside Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, Zambada was known for running the cartel's smuggling operations. Lopez is the son of El Chapo. Authorities offered a reward of up to $15 million for information leading to his capture.
The family of the late U.S. Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee have announced funeral arrangements. Jackson Lee will lie in state next Monday at Houston City Hall. She's the second person to have that honor. The first was Dr. Michael D. Bakey. A community farewell and appreciation service is scheduled for Tuesday at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. A celebration of life service takes place Wednesday at Fallbrook Church. Family members plan to live stream all services and tributes. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton can't question the Catholic Charities Director over migrant services. The Texas Tribune reports the ruling is the second time a Texas judge has ruled against the Attorney General for investigating shelters helping migrants. Paxton's office filed a petition to dispose Catholic Charities last month. They say it was investigating whether the organization is illegally harboring migrants or illegally encouraging them to enter or remain in the country. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sat down with President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump.
This as he faces intense pressure to end the war with Hamas and tries to gather support.
Well, welcome back, Mr. Prime Minister. We got a lot to talk about.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meeting with President Joe Biden in the Oval Office today following his fiery speech to Congress yesterday.
And I look forward to discussing with you today and working with you in the months ahead on the great issues before us.
The meeting not open to the press, but the White House holding a briefing after.
First and foremost, we'll be discussing how deeply and how strongly the president feels, we feel, that we've got to get this hostage deal in place so we can get a ceasefire.
Netanyahu has been under intense pressure to find an end to the war against Hamas amid a growing humanitarian crisis. The Hamas-run health ministry saying more than 39,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since the war began, and hundreds of thousands are facing starvation.
Israel will fight until we destroy Hamas's military capabilities, end its rule in Gaza, and bring all our hostages home. That's what total victory means, and we will settle for nothing less.
President Biden and the Prime Minister also holding a private meeting with families of hostages being held by Hamas.
We got absolute commitment from the Biden administration and from Prime Minister Netanyahu that they understand the urgency of this moment now, to waste no time and to complete this deal as it currently stands with as little change as humanly possible.
Vice President Kamala Harris and Netanyahu also holding a joint meeting in Washington.
Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister, and I look forward to our conversation. We have lots to talk about.
Israel's Defense Forces says it just retrieved the bodies of 4 more hostages and 3 IDF soldiers they say were all killed on October 7th. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Vice President Kamala Harris delivered the keynote speech at the American Federation of Teachers 88th National Convention today in Houston. She became the Democratic presidential nominee after President Joe Biden decided to end his re-election bid, which he spoke about in an Oval address Wednesday night.
Today, we face a choice between 2 very different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, and the other focused on the past. And we are fighting for the future.
The AFT announced it was backing Harris' White House bid hours after Biden announced he was dropping out. Harris is expected to announce a running mate within the next 2 weeks.
Let's Grow Texas Ag, Part 2, Calhoun County. Can be seen on KMOL Saturday night at 6:30. Let's Grow Texas Ag will be on KXTS Friday night at 10 and on Saturday morning at 11. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today
on YouTube.
On YouTube. There you go. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 10. Southwest Airlines is making major moves. For the first time in over 50 years, they're switching to assigned seating and introducing premium legroom options.
Also ahead, over 290,000 BMWs are recalled due to a cargo rail issue. First time in 53 years, Southwest Airlines will have assigned seats, and it will start charging for premium seats with more legroom. They also announced it will start offering overnight red-eye flights for the first time. There's no details on when these changes will go into effect, but the premium seats will not be available until 2025. Southwest is trying to regain its footing after struggling in recent years. Today, the company reported a 51% drop in profit to $370 million. Despite reported record revenue for the quarter.
Over 290,000 BMW SUVs are being recalled because the interior cargo rail could detach in a crash. The recall includes model year 2018 to 2023 BMW X3 vehicles. The luxury vehicle company said the attachment for the interior cargo rail may become damaged in a rear crash. That could cause the cargo rail to come off, increasing the risk of injury. BMW dealers will fix the issue at no cost. Recall notification letters will be sent to drivers on August 30th. Many people are experiencing a phantom ringing sound in their ears.
And it's only becoming more common as we continue to use devices every day.
Tinnitus occurs when you hear an internal ringing, roaring, or buzzing sound in one or both ears. A study by Apple and the University of Michigan School of over 160,000 adults showed that nearly 8 in 10 adults have experienced tinnitus. Adults over 55 years old were 3 times more likely to experience it daily compared to those 18 to 34 years old. The majority of adults describe the sound as faint, with 79% hearing it as a pure tone and 17% as white noise. 1 in 5 adults cited exposure to excessively high levels of noise as the cause for tinnitus, and 8% cited it as stress-related. Listening to excessively loud music on your headphones can increase the risk of developing tinnitus and other hearing issues. While prevention isn't guaranteed, you can reduce your risk by using hearing protection, avoiding exposure to loud noise, and managing stress. If you are interested in participating in the Apple Hearing Study, download the free Apple Research app to learn more about the study and enroll today. With this Medical Minute, I'm Em Nguyen, ABC News.
The super rich are getting even richer by leaps and bounds. A new analysis by Oxfam International shows the top 1% globally has had its wealth soar by $42 trillion over the past decade. That's almost 34 times more than the bottom half of the world's population. The average net worth of the elite jumped by nearly $400,000 per person. For the bottom half of global residents, the increase was just over $300.
Warner Brothers Discovery and Disney have joined forces to launch a cross-studio bundle to attract new customers to streaming. The deal offered by the entertainment giants offers consumers a bundle including Disney+, Hulu, and Max at a lower price. Officials with the company say the gathering of these 3 services can be purchased by new and existing customers for $16.99 per month with ads. It's $29.99 to go ad-free. Warner Brothers Discovery is the parent company of both CNN and Max. Yellowstone's National Park's popular Biscuit Basin is closed for the rest of the season after a hydrothermal explosion Tuesday.
The blast launched boiling water, steam, mud, and rocks hundreds of feet in the air. The explosion happened near the Sapphire Pool, where it destroyed the walkway that surrounds the basin. The explosion also altered the shape of the park's famous Black Diamond Pool. Officials said Tuesday's hydrothermal explosion is not a sign of an impending volcanic eruption. That's good news, Mac.
Are you sure?
That's what they say.
I mean, because there is a volcano down there, and someday it's going to go. Just because it burps a little bit doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. We'll see, and we'll hope for the best. It's 77 degrees right about now. We managed to get up to only 85 today. That was our official high. No official rainfall at the rain gauge, but I know that some of you did get rain. And down south, boy, they got a lot of rain. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. Well, we had pockets of heavy thunderstorms around the area today. Maybe not so much here in the city, but believe me, I'm going to show you some numbers that are pretty impressive. The old frontal system still is there because the dry air is on this side, the humid air is here, and you can see there's a little bit of a circulation right about here. This way coming out of the north, this coming out of the south. Well, coming up from the south, we're concerned, or I'm concerned, that we've got a pocket of moisture that's going to form into an area of low pressure. What does that mean? Well, it means that it really increases our rain chance over the next 48 to 72 hours. Now, all of this activity just along the immediate coastline. And for us, now we didn't have that much rain activity today, but you can see right about now, a lot of it is collapsing. However, south of Corpus Christi, we do have showers extending all the way out to the Zapata Laredo area. Now, earlier today, boy, there are some places that really got a pounding. Now, here's Victoria County. North side of the county didn't get much. South side of the county got a little bit more, even up to 1 to 2 inches. And then Calhoun got quite a bit. There was a huge downburst in the Bay City area. And then there's Corpus Christi. Well, you know, there's a little road that goes from Padre Island all the way up to Port O'Connor on Mustang Island. And they got 10 inches of rain today. And Naval Air Station got 7.5 inches of rain. So this was a huge downpour that was flooding, all kinds of problems there. And so that's what we're concerned, that anywhere in this area, one of these big pockets will develop and we'll get heavy rain. Now, we continue with the flood watches all the way up into the Houston area. Excessive rainfall is possible in pretty much all of our region and pretty much all of the coast of Texas. And so we're going to watch Future Tracker. Now, Future Tracker, you'll see that there's some of this little stuff's going that way, but most of it's coming up. This is what happened this morning, is that big cluster of storms down off of Corpus Christi, and then they rolled up, and then they rolled up into the Bay City area. So by tomorrow morning, 11, 12 o'clock, another cluster coming through. There you see the city, and we continue watching that activity continue. Now, you're going to see pockets of heavy rainfall. Not everybody will see the same amount. But the problem is now we're a little bit saturated of rainfall. So what we get is going to be immediate flooding and runoff. So low water crossings may fill up on us fairly quickly. And that is the deal. Now, the big deal is that the pattern is finally changing after what, 7 days of continuing thunder showers. The high pressure that is on the west coast is going to start moving back to the central part of the country. That's going to squeeze down all the moisture and the rain that we had. So we're back to regular old summertime with hot, humid conditions and temperatures moving up. So our rain chance will be ending by Sunday night. By Monday, you'll see a lot more sunshine around the region. So let's take a look at your day planner. Port Lavaca still on the cloudy and showery side, but a high of only 84. In Cuero, you're only looking at 84 degrees in the middle of July. Yeah, I'll take that, but you will see pockets of isolated shower activity. So we still have downpour problems Friday, Saturday, decreasing on Sunday, and then by Monday I do expect us to sort of come out of the rain pattern and get back to plain old sunny and hot, and temperatures moving back up to the mid-90s by the time we get to the middle of next week. So just watch out, turn around, don't drown, do be cautious. So far we've got good rain and no significant major problems, like flooding. But we'll watch it for the next couple of days before it all is ending. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Maxwell with sports.
Thanks, Mac. Victoria West has a new baseball coach in Jay Perez. Sports reporter Ray Robinson has the story in sports. Last week, we broke breaking news about Victoria West hiring a new baseball coach in Jay Perez. But earlier today, 25 News Now sports reporter Ray Robinson got a chance to talk to the new head coach in charge.
West High School has just announced that interim head coach Jay Perez is now the official head coach for the boys varsity baseball team. This hire comes as the team gets ready for the 2024-2025 season, a season that coach already has his eyes set on.
Well, the athletes, come to find out, through the last semester, last season, man, they're great kids. They're great kids. They're fun to be around. They love each other, and it's pretty. They make it easy on me. I know that. And so building that relationship with them, spending that time with them throughout the off season and everything, really helps us to build that culture and continuity.
His experience isn't just mainly on the baseball field. He's also a strength conditioning coach for the men's varsity football team. Both tasks that require great attention, but is still manageable.
Well, I wouldn't say it's stressful. At West, we try to get our athletes to play as many sports as possible. We want them to be involved in everything that they can and compete as much as they can. So really, it's a matter of what can we do to build athletes, not just specifically football players or baseball players or basketball players. So we want them to be well-rounded. So it all kind of runs together for us.
Ray Robinson, KAVU 25 News Now, Sports.
Thanks, Ray. And also last week, we highlighted Full Force Gymnastics here in Victoria for placing top 8 in nationals in Fort Worth. Top 8 are awarded overall medals, and most of the gymnasts competed against 40 to 70 athletes. One of the coaches, and Chad Ganaway, talks about how proud he is of the Team Red's performance down in Fort Worth.
Really awesome because it was most of the team's first year ever to compete at nationals, so you really never know how they're going to do on that stage. And so for them to all show up and be, a lot of them compete against 70 to 80 athletes. So to be able to get up there from Victoria, Texas and be in the top 8 is a pretty proud moment for everyone.
In all, Full Force made Victoria proud, and now we're moving into a 2-week break period for the team. You can see more details of some of the gymnast interviews on my complete story for 25 News Now at 6 and 10 p.m. this Saturday. The Generals, they won over the Brazos Valley Bombers tonight in Byron, Texas. The Generals got on the board early with Diego Diaz hitting one to shortstop. He got on by an air, but they also would take a lead. Nothing really would change. Riley Benner hit a sacrifice fly in the right field. It brought in Damian Whitfield. And they also would score on a wild pitch by Bombers pitcher Jace Stoops. And that would carry the momentum, winning 5-1. They're still atop of the TCL standings, hoping to finish the regular season strong. And also wanted to give a shout out today to San Diego Padres pitcher Dylan Cease, who threw the second no-hitter in Padres history. The first one for the Padres was Joe Musgrave, who threw the first no-hitter. This was back in 2021. Padres won the game. Again, it was 3-0. It was a huge moment for the Padres and the entire MLB. Padres are back tomorrow at Baltimore and see if maybe they can produce another no-hitter. We'll see, Don. I don't know what can happen there in the future. But that's going to be all there in sports. Don and Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Max. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, we're going to take a last look at your weather. Plus, Texas' oldest resident is celebrating her 115th birthday.
A woman in Houston is celebrating her 115th trip around the sun. Wow. Elizabeth Francis is the oldest person in the United States after turning 115 today. Francis was born in 1909 in St. Mary Parish, Louisiana. The president at that time, William Howard Taft. She's experienced many historic moments, including both world wars, the introduction of color television, the introduction of HD TV, and the first ever moon landing. Worldwide, there are only 3 people older than Francis. 2 of them are 116 years old. The other is 117. Yeah. A new study finds hens blush when they're excited or scared.
Oh, no.
Researchers spent 4 weeks on a French farm observing 17 hens of 2 different breeds. They found blushing for a few seconds indicated a reaction to excitement in positive situations like waiting to eat mealworms. It also indicated a reaction to fearful situations like being captured. The study also found an expression of low redness and fluffed head feathers suggests hens are calm and secure.
Oh, look at all those chickens.
That's probably more than we've ever known about hens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
I did not know that
I hope
at all.
that people are writing that down.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You want to feel calm and secure? Get our hurricane tracking chart. You know, we have 5 locations where our hurricane tracking guide can be picked up. Go to crossroadstoday.com, click on weather, hurricane tracker, and you'll see it on your right below Storm Prep 2024. Now, it's not going to help you find the rain because it's probably on their front doorstep or back doorstep, or where will it be tomorrow?
The rain or the map?
The rain.
The rain will be all over the place. That's our big concern because we don't know exactly where it's going to pop, but there will be isolated big thunderstorms for Friday and Saturday. Now, Sunday begins to end, and we were talking, of course, about our hurricane guide, and I just want you to know that we're early in the season. It's not over just yet. And in about 7 to 10 days, we may be talking about that activity again. So we'll wait and see. But otherwise, a couple of heavy downpours expected on Friday and Saturday.
Alrighty, thank you, Mac. Now, Friday is National Bagel Fest Day. There are plenty to choose from, whether sweet or savory, or maybe you want to top it with something different or toast it to a different softness. They first came to New York. Celebrated yearly since 1986, the owner of Linder's Bagels in Illinois created National Bagel Fest Day. You're encouraged to post pictures of your favorite bagels with the hashtag National Bagel Fest Day. Fun fact, I worked at Panera Bread when I was a teenager. I ate way too much bagels. Way too much bagels. But
Do you like them plain or with the
Oh no,
onions?
I'd like them a little bit with some, light, low-fat cream cheese.
Oh yeah,
Same for
absolutely.
me. Cinnamon raisin is my favorite.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
The
type,
blueberry,
for sure.
blueberries.
Classic, yeah. Alrighty, well, thank you for joining us for 25 News Now at 10.
Join Carolina, meteorologist Parker Cox, 25 News Now Sunrise starting at 5 a.m. Good night. Have a good bagel.